Hello everyone, my dear viewers, and welcome to my channel. Today we'll tackle one of the most controversial and discussed cases in Italian justice, the case of Massimo Bossetti and the death of Yara Gambirasio. This story, which has shaken public opinion for years, is full of questions, doubts, and evidence that seems to lead to a truth that's hard to accept. We'll briefly retrace the story together, highlighting the most critical points that still raise questions about Bossetti's actual guilt, but also the evidence that linked him to the crime. Before we start, if you're new here, I invite you to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. See you soon. It was November 26, 2010, when Yara Gambirasio, a 13-year-old girl from Brembate di Sopra, disappeared without a trace while returning home from the sports center where she regularly practiced gymnastics. Her disappearance triggered a massive search that involved hundreds of volunteers, but weeks went by with no sign of her. In February 2011, Yara's lifeless body was found in a field in Cignolo di Sola, about 6 miles from her town. The girl's death was immediate, with clear signs of violence. The investigation began immediately, but there were no concrete clues to break the case. After almost 3 years of fruitless investigation, in 2014, thanks to DNA analysis found on the victim's clothes, investigators identified a genetic profile that seemed to belong to an unidentified man, a mysterious individual. The investigation led to Massimo Bossetti, a 44-year-old construction worker who lived near Brembate and who, in June 2014, was arrested by the authorities. According to investigators, the DNA found on the victim belonged to Bossetti, identified through mitochondrial DNA analysis, an advanced technique. Bossetti's DNA, however, did not match any known relatives of Yara, which led to a series of questions about how this was possible and about potential errors. His defense, in fact, has always maintained that there could have been a mistake in the analysis, a possible case of contamination, or a simple coincidence, raising doubts. Despite the first-degree conviction and life sentence, there are still many doubts surrounding Bossetti's case. First of all, Bossetti's defense has repeatedly raised the issue of how the DNA samples were obtained and analyzed, questioning their validity. Some experts have pointed out that mitochondrial DNA, while useful for identifying a person, is not always 100% reliable as decisive evidence in a case like this, raising further doubts. Moreover, the only evidence linking Bossetti to the crime is the DNA, but there is no other direct evidence, such as traces of Bossetti at the crime scene or eyewitness testimony that can confirm his presence. Another aspect that raises questions is the lack of a clear and convincing motive. It has never been explained why Bossetti would have acted in that way towards Yara, a behavior seemingly without any rational reason, leaving many questions unanswered. On the other hand, there are elements that seem to confirm Bossetti's guilt. The main evidence remains the DNA found on Yara's clothing, which, despite the objections, represented a decisive element in the investigation. In addition to this, Bossetti had a weak alibi, and traces of him being near the place where Yara was found fueled further suspicion. Furthermore, the evidence that emerges from his personal history, including some investigations into possible past behaviors, contribute to painting a more complex picture of the situation. So, the question remains, is Massimo Bossetti really guilty, or was there a miscarriage of justice? The issue is complex, the story is still shrouded in mystery, and the case continues to be debated. There are those who are convinced of his innocence, and those who believe that the evidence nails him without a shadow of a doubt. The truth seems still far away, and justice, as often happens, has its winding path. What do you think? Your opinion is important. Do you believe Bossetti was wrongly convicted or that the evidence against him is sufficient? Let us know. I invite you to leave a comment below with your opinion. And if you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next updates on this and other cases. See you soon!